Hey, how's everyone doing there tonight? This is Undead Nightmare 24 back with a video. Hope everyone's having a great weekend out there. It's going to be a review for a film I watched earlier, a Saturday night review. And I wanted to share this with you guys and go over my thoughts and opinions on this film. So everybody sit back, relax, enjoy the video, and let's get this started. My choice for this Saturday is going to be, actually it's 1973's Terminal Island. This is the slipcover. It's from Vinegar Syndrome. It's a 4K edition. You can see the back there. And here's the actual Blu-ray case. You guys can see there. And I just want to start off by saying this transfer is excellent. Vinegar Syndrome just does a great job on their transfers, and this shows on this film. This is directed by Stephanie Rothman, and she also directed such films as Beyond Atlantis from 1973, The Working Girls from 1974. This stars Phyllis Davis, man, and she's beautiful in this film. She came out Beyond the Valley of Dolls from 1970, and also she came out in Sweet Sugar from 1972, as well as this stars a young Tom Selleck, and he's like a doctor in this film, but he's like a drug addict at the same time. So it's a young Tom Selleck. So let's get this started. This is basically your action exploitation film from the 70s. Definitely has a grindhouse feel to it. And this is a unique film. It's like a prison film, but it's set like on an island. They send these prisoners that are pretty much murderers. They've committed the act of murder to this island, and they're like, let's pretty much have them, if they kill themselves, they do kill each other. They do. It's out of our hands, and they pretty much got to serve life on this island called Terminal Island. And you got some that are actually, like pretty much rapists and murderers, and then you got some that are saying they're innocent and they didn't do it. So you got your good and your bad in this island. But this starts off with our character right here. That's Carmen. She's put on the island. She's last to lose her case, and she's put on there, and she right away meets up with a young Tom Selleck, and he's pretty much kind of doing drugs. He made his own drug on the island, so he's all high, and it's funny, man. He looks completely different. But anyways, he meets with her. She has a knife. She's already cautious, and she figures out he's not a threat. So they end up talking. She gets taken to this camp that's run by this guy Bobby, and these are the bad inmates. So they pretty much capture her and rough her up, and then you have them pretty much using the women, because there's more men than women, and it's they're outnumbered. They have them as slaves for every purpose you can think of, and they're pretty much sad and depressed the way they're treated by these prisoners. So they had enough. You got Carmen. She's very tough. She wants to fight back, but at the same time she's outnumbered. So then all of us, pretty much in the situation, you have these rebels. They're the ones that ran away. They're pretty much the good prisoners, come to the rescue and escape them from this hellhole that they're in, from that camp there with the bad inmates. This starts a war between the rebels and the bad inmates. You got two gangs of inmates, and the good and the bad, and they're battling each other. And these women decide to fight back. You have another female prisoner, and she's like a chemist. They create grenades out of chemicals and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. You have some pretty good fights with like knives they made there on the island. I'm guessing they made their own knives, and then you got it's pretty cool because they made their own weaponry out of stuff they had around there, and it's pretty creative. It reminded me of a film I watched from Severin called The Siege, where they came with creative weaponry, and this one they do the same. They make weapons on the island that are pretty creative. So you got this back and forth war between the bad inmates and the good, and they're pretty much to take over this island and make it a more comfortable island, even though it's pretty much run pretty bad. They're trying to turn the tides here. So it leads to that battle between the two prison gangs. It's pretty unique, I thought. So that's basically the film without giving too many spoilers away. This has, like I said, a very 70s grindhouse feel to it. You got some pretty good blood shed in here, reminding me of Italian horror films. It's real bright, reddish blood. Some pretty nice kills. You got some sleaze moments. It's very sleazy. It's very, it's got that exploitation feel to it. I pretty much enjoyed this. You got, like I said, a young Tom Selleck. He's doing drugs and he's pretty much this wacky doctor. It's a very odd character for him, but very enjoyable. And like I said, the main character Carmen's very strong. You got the bad villain's name of the inmates is Bobby, and then you got the good inmate. His name's AJ. They're rivals. One's good, one's bad. It turns to the war. Um, Great scenery in this film. I like the island setting. It did remind me of a couple films I could bring to mind. The Condemned with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Also, I'm gonna say No Escape with Ray Liotta. It's very like those films, but this has that '70s grindhouse feel to it, which I enjoy more. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. Like I said, transfer's great. It's very grindhouse like, just right up my alley. So I'm going to give it the undead approval. I really like this film. I thought it was entertaining through the whole film. I didn't find myself bored at all through this film. A lot of high action fights and stuff like that, creative, and just that. It's a different kind of prison movie, and I was seeing on the special features the director talking about it, and she wanted it different. She was pretty much connected to Roger Corman. He was her mentor. She had her and her husband working on this film, and they'd get advice from him. And she says that he wanted them to do a female prison movie, and she didn't want to leave it to the single sex like that. She wanted to have it combined with male and female to make it more interesting, and that's what this film does. So you got some crazy scenes in this film, but highly entertainable. So yeah, this is going to be my review for 1973's Terminal Island. This is available on Vinegar Syndrome. This is a great transfer on the 4K, and I really enjoyed this film. So everyone, hit a like, comment, subscribe. Hope you're having a good weekend. Stay safe out there. Be kind to each other. This is Undead Nightmare 24 back with a video. Peace.
Coast lies San Bruno Maximum Security Prison. Every inhabitant is a murderer, declared legally dead, exiled for eternity. There are no guards, no walls, only survival. They emptied death row to fill Terminal Island, where we dump our human garbage.
If I tell you to kiss my ass, I want you on your knees before I finish talking. Welcome to Terminal Island, baby.
The strong enslave the weak. The hours hang as heavy as their chains. Unleashed, unchecked, uncontrollable. An army of automatic executioners triggering a maelstrom of mass murder.
I don't need you. I don't need anybody.
The Suicide Squad versus a kill-crazy colony of criminals. Molten madness erupting in a vicious vortex of violence. Every man a devil-driven machine in a human demolition derby. The Damned versus the Doomed on Devil's Island, USA. Terminal Island, the most exciting motion picture of the decade. Terminal Island.